The light of the bite is back without sickness or congestion. I'm so excited. So, hi everybody, hope you're all well. I am so excited to share this recipe with you all. It is an oldie, real oldie. Like, instead of writing butter on the recipe card, it says margarine. That's how old it is. I don't even recall the last time I used margarine, but I'm telling you, it was a long time ago. So this recipe comes from one of my favorite people on earth. Her name is Terry Wood. Hello, Terry Wood. And she had probably some of the biggest impact on my life in my young adult life, and is a treasured friend to this day, and really feels like a sister. Honestly, she feels like family. But anyways, I was a young married gal living in Nashville, Tennessee, very much a fish out of water, and this woman took me under her wing and taught me a lot. And I have a ton of recipes from her, and they are all amazing. So today I'm featuring one of my favorites, chocolate chess pie. I don't even know what the chess thing means. All I know is it's heaven in your mouth, and it's always a hit. People just love it. It's so good. It's got a basic pie crust, and then it's kind of this fudgy, kind of pudding, but kind of firm. It's more firm than pudding. I don't even know how to describe it, you guys, but it's heavenly. So, and it also has hardly any flour in it. So I've never tried making it gluten-free, but it only requires a tablespoon of flour for the entire pie. So for you people that are gluten-free and you know a recipe for like a gluten-free pie crust, you could probably modify this and just give it a whirl and see if you could make it gluten-free with that little bit of flour that's in here. So I'm so excited to share this one. It is very easy to make, and what I like about it is it often requires things that I already have on hand. Eggs, sugar, butter, cocoa powder, vanilla, milk, and did I say sugar? Of course, sugar, because it's a dessert and it's so good. So I've whipped this one up last minute. If you're not a baker, I had my teeth cleaned this morning, and my dental hygienist said, I don't cook. And I'm like, Carrie, you could make this. I know you could. You don't even have to have a mixer. You can do it by hand in a bowl. So I'm super excited to share with you. I'm gonna get started and do a little demo. One of the couple of things I wanna say too, if you wanna cut corners on this guy, just do a refrigerated pie crust. It's fine. I like to make my own because my mom has a real simple recipe that I've been using for years, and I like the way it turns out, and it's really foolproof. But you could totally do a store-bought pie crust, and you have a real quick dessert, and it's a showstopper, and it's great topped with, it's great on its own, it's great topped with Ready Whip, fresh whipped cream, ice cream, you know, or just stick your fork in the pie plate and go. You won't be disappointed. All right, let's get started. Alrighty, now comes my pie filling. So I've got 1.5 cups of sugar in here. I'm adding 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And you want to use a wire whisk just to break up any of the little lumps. There might still be a couple, but this will do a pretty good job. You could also sift it if you wanted, but I'm not all that concerned about it. So I just give that a nice whisk. A tablespoon of flour. And then a nice pinch of salt. I'm using unsalted butter, so I'm doing kind of a heavy pinch. So that's your dry ingredients. And again, that's all whisked together. Next will come the wet ingredients. And I've got to grab my melted butter out of the microwave. So I've got a half of a stick or a 1/4 cup of melted butter. And I'm actually going to pour this, well, I'm going to pour it right in here. I sometimes will mix my eggs and butter first, but pour that right in there along with 2 eggs. And I just start whisking it right away because if the butter is warm, I don't want to have any sort of scrambling happen. And then a teaspoon, excuse me, of vanilla. And then I forgot to get out my milk, so sit tight with me. Then comes a 1/2 cup of milk. I'm just gonna use my same little measuring cup here. And that's it. So what I love about this pie, you guys, is these are all things that we have typically in our house. Eggs, milk, butter, sugar, cocoa powder is typically something that people have because you buy it and don't use a ton of it at a time. And yeah, flour, salt. So this is a good one if you find out you're having company last minute or you need to whip something up at the last second. This is a good one. So this is the filling. It looks really liquefied, but this is what makes it so fudgy and good. So it's got a good whisk on it. I will now pour this into my pie shell and we'll pop it in the oven. Okay, so while I was making up my filling, I put my pie crust and just popped it in the fridge for a little while I was making up this gorgeousness. And I will just pour, oh, chocolate heaven. It smells so good. I wish there was like a little smell app so you could be smelling how good this smells. And it's not even baked yet. It just smells like chocolate love. So good. So you can see it does not come up super high on the edge. It will puff up just a touch. You can see I have a second one because I made 2. I just didn't show you that because I'm taking these to a class Scott and I are teaching at our church. But anyways, so this will, see how it's liquidy. You got to be real careful when you transfer this to the oven. But when they come out, you guys, they're beautiful. The top has a little bit of like a crust to it. Sometimes there's some crackling. That's okay. It's not about being like perfection. It's about the taste and it's amazing. So I will show you the finished product happily when we are through with the baking process. It'll go in at 350 degrees for about 35 to 45 minutes. Just depends on your oven. So I've found before our old oven, it took a little less time. With our new oven, it takes a little more time. So you'll do a little jiggle test. If the center has any jiggle, you know you need to cook it a little bit longer. So there you go. Look at the goodness. Oh my gosh, and there's 2 of them. Now that one cracked a little. I still can't figure if it's like oven position or what makes some of them crack and some of them not, but it kind of doesn't matter because it's so good. So these will get topped, well, cooled down, sliced, topped with some fresh whipped cream, and we're all gonna have a groaning delight of the bite. It's gonna be great. What? Okay, first off, zoom in here. I wanna show what a lovely cut this makes. So you can see, it's not like it oozes in, and this is still pretty warm, you guys, but it's got this kind of little crunch crust that gets formed. And then zoom in here. This is what you're dealing with. It is the best of problems. Okay, told you I was gonna groan, and my mouth's already like, I have drool like forming in my mouth. And because I know what it's gonna taste like, but I just need y'all to see me be super excited about this. It's like heaven. I mean, the crust, it's like fudge, but it's kind of like a brownie, and it's kind of like pudding, and there's that little bit of a crusty topping. You just cannot go wrong. And then a little cream on top. It's a 2 bite on camera type of thing. So good. Again, super easy. You can do it. And if the crust freaks you out, buy your own pie crust in the refrigerated section. Or better yet, buy one that's already in a disposable tin in the freezer section. Thaw those guys out, follow the instructions for those, make the filling, pour it in. You've got an amazing dessert. Super, super good. People love this one. I've had people request it. I have a friend in Nashville who wanted me to bring it to him because it's his favorite. And yeah, it's a good one. Thank you, Terry Wood, for sharing your chocolate chess pie. It is definitely a delight of the bite. Check it out on my YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, and subscribe and share with your friends. I would love for more people to see all the things I'm up to. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.